Hey guys, this is the Ray Pikachu, and today we're going to be talking about that. And not just that, its entire series. So I've made a large discovery involving Five Nights at Freddy's. I've been watching a lot of theory videos, and I've realized one thing. They try to chip at it. So think about the theories, put it all together as one ball. They're chipping at it, one at a time, trying to get down to the center. I've looked at that ball, per se, every theory, and I've cut clean down the middle and I've worked everything out. It is just a theory, but it answers every question we have about FNaF. So, I'm the one who made this theory up. I call it the Withering Time theory. And I'm just going to go over it in this video and possibly another one if I run out of time. Okay, I'm going to jumble up the timeline a bit, but in the end it will all make sense. So it begins in FNaF, the original game. Okay, so we know what happens. But what if I told you I knew where the safe room is? Just near the night guard's office. It's hard to understand at first, but it will sink in when I say this next statement. West Hall Corner. We can see a room with arcade machines, like the safe room in FNaF 3. Also, you may think the safe room is in the same position as it is in FNaF 3. But that's before FNaF 2, yes. Before FNaF 2, the rotting establishment. Think about it. In the FNaF 2 establishment, there are these old, withered, torn apart, dismantled animatronics. They're like that because of the purple guy. In the FNaF 3 nightly games, we see the purple guy dismantle the animatronics. He tears them apart with his hands. No dismantle device. On the topic of the dismantle device, in FNaF 2, in a minigame, we see the purple guy with something in his hands. A taser. It makes sense considering he's wearing a guard uniform. And if you overload an animatronic or any electronical device, for that matter, with too much electricity, it'll short circuit. So purple guy might have worked for the company, a night guard perhaps. He was fired for, well, I don't know myself, but if my taser theory is correct, then he was fired for tampering with the animatronics. Okay, so now I'm moving onto how the phone guy died and why I think I know what actually happened. So, I believe that the FNaF messages are pre-recorded, preferably because in FNaF 2 we hear phone guy say, "Welcome to your new summer job." You get the check in November. Nowhere in the northern or southern hemisphere is summer in November. So, I believe that they're pre-recorded, the same as his death message. So, so think of a place where every animatronic was together, working as a team. I can. The rotting establishment. Think about it. The animatronics were all together, and there was only the purple guy. Well, phone guy. So what I believe is that I've heard a theory on the internet about how the children were murdered. The purple guy waited for a song to come on, took them behind the stage, and killed them. And I sort of agree with that, but I can change the theory a lot. So, I have a reason why the noises were in Phone Guy's death. The song was Torador March, being played by Freddy. The body inside Freddy's suit was being killed first. The moaning and groaning of Chica represents the noise of the two that were shoved into their suits. They were moaning and groaning as they were being killed. The fourth one was banging on the ground, referring to Foxy banging on the door. And the fifth one, the Golden Freddy one, was screaming. And I also know why the phone guy jumped in the suit. The reason he did was because they were probably making all the noises, and then when the Golden Freddy scream comes on, the spirit screamed as well, making him run for safety into the suit. And I remember that if a moist breath gets on the spring lock mechanism, it'll clamp up. So, there was a leaky roof, the suit could have got wet, and when he was laughing, it clamped up. Night 5, we hear really, really creepy noises. I believe that's the phone guy gasping for air as he dies in the suit. It would make sense if he had the recording device with him at the time. So, that's how I've been looking at it. Now there's 2 questions left. What will we unearth in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 that has just been confirmed? And who did the Bite of 87? I have a theory. Well, another theory linking into my Withering Time theory. Again, I said I'm looking at everything as a whole. Going clean down the middle, working everything out, not one stone unturned. So, I believe that it was definitely Mangle, considering the toy animatronics were scrapped for some reason. And that reason is, well, the bite. So we know that the animatronics, well, the toy ones, are linked into a criminal database. And they can detect a predator from a mile away. Quite strange how they go for Jeremy Fitzgerald or Fritz Smith. I believe that one of them is the purple guy. The pink man, the one that we see who killed the child who became the puppet, that was Phone Guy. He's dead. So, what about the purple guy? Well, sort of the same thing, but remember the figure who was arrested in the FNaF 1 newspaper clippings? Who else? So it was him, and the reason was because I believe what happened, because I think, I'm just getting mixed up. I believe it was Jeremy Fitzgerald because he was moved to the morning role, so he was doing it in the morning. He was moved to morning shift instead of night shift, and since he was promoted, he was somewhat scared and on alert. There was a party. So, the animatronics couldn't go off the stage because, well, they were performing for the birthday kid. Boy or girl, not known at this moment, and it doesn't really matter. So what I believe happened, Mangle, the only one who's not in the band, was able to get up. And they were allowed to walk around in the day. So what happened? Mangle decided to scoot over to the main room, where the guard was. He lunged at him, knowing this would happen. Purple guy picked up a child and used him as a shield. So he used a human shield to take the bite. The animatronics were attacked, then scrapped. The animatronics were pinned down and then taken to the scrapyard. The purple guy was arrested on that day and is in jail. So that's what happened in the FNaF timeline. I've left no stone unturned. I've worked almost every mystery out. There's just one thing left. What happened? FNaF 3, the fire. What made the animatronics withered? There's an obvious answer. A fire that burns down the establishment in FNaF 3. Those animatronics, so think about it, when we get the bad ending we see the lights, preferably the souls. Also, the 5th mask is Mangle, considering it's the only other phantom animatronic. Because we do see Mangle pop up and he does really badly mess up the audio. So it's probably Mangle's skull. So what happens is the skulls are burnt, and that's why after the fire, so it was actually predicting the future. And FNaF 4, we've seen the new leaked images, the Freddy and the Bonnie. So they have 5 fingers. So new Springlock suits. I don't know, and I also know what Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy are. We hear Phone Guy say apparently there's been some Springlock failures, and he then, well, they're the 2 Springlock failures, the Shadow Freddy and the Shadow Bonnie, representing the animatronics. So that's basically my Withering Time theory. Needs a bit more work. I made this because everyone trying to solve it just got really annoying, so I decided to put an end to it. Instead of chipping away at this bowl of theories, trying to work them out one by one, I put all the theories into one, chopped it down the center, put everything together, all keys, everything. So there's nothing left unless I did miss something out, and if, well, my friends watch it and I think I did, tell me in the comments. Also, this theory is a special theory because I'm not the only one who came up with it. My friend Dominic, he's been, well, really helpful, and I also have been getting his help on the way to school and stuff. We've been talking about it, discussing it, so I'd like to give a big shout out to him, if he ever watches it. And that's all I can do for this video, and I will see everyone next video.